Okay, this is, I believe, section 11.7, determining whether or not we have similar solids. So it's a lot like determining if two polygons are similar. It's just that now you have to check all the dimensions. So it's not congruent, it's similar. So they are proportional, the sides are proportional. So they should all reduce to the same scale factor. So we have 2 over 8 here, and 2 over 8 here, and 6 goes with 18. So if those all reduce to the same scale factor, then they should be similar. So that's 1 to 4, 1 to 4, and that's 1 to 3. So these are not similar. So sad. Okay, and then here we have 15 with 10, and 45 goes with 30. So 5 will go into both those, goes into 15 3 times, and into that 2. 15 goes into that 3 times, and into that 2. So yes, these are similar, and the scale factor is 3 over 2 or 2 over 3. Because it doesn't state in the directions, it doesn't matter which way you put it. Okay, solid A is similar to solid B, but we don't have solid B. With a given scale factor from A to B, find the surface area and volume of solid B. So we've got to remember PAV 1, 2, 3, where the area is reduced to the scale factor squared and the volume is reduced to the scale factor cubed. This is perimeter, but we won't be dealing with that with three-dimensional figures. So if the scale factor is 1 over 2, then the area should reduce to 1 over 4 because that's 1 over 2 squared. And the volume should reduce to 1 over 8 because that is 1 over 2 cubed. So before you can compare these numbers, you've got to do those. So I'm going to have to erase this to give myself more room. And I also don't have my calculator. That would have been a good idea. Okay, so 1 over 4 is what the area should reduce to. Now it says it's A to B, so this is A to B, so that means A is on top. So since we're given A, we'd put that on top. So 208 over X. And then we have, for the volumes, we have 1 over 8 equals 192 over X. Okay, so to solve each one of these proportions, you would just cross multiply. So we do 1 times X and just get X. And then you do 4 times 208, and that's going to be, I got my calculator, so these should be right. 832. That is the surface area of solid B. Then when you cross multiply these, you get X equals 8 times 192, and you get 1536. And that is the volume of solid B. Okay, now I'd like you to pause it and try to do this one on your own, and then I'm going to do it quickly, so if you don't pause it, you're just going to see it really quickly. The scale factor is 1 to 4, so we do 1 over 4 squared to get 1 over 16. So this is surface area. So then you do 1 over 16 equals 154 over, I'll put an S this time instead of an X. So then when you cross multiply, you get the surface area equals 16 times 154, and that's 2,464. I'm going to erase it, so pause it if you want it. Let's switch colors for fun. So for volume, you do 1 over 4, the scale factor, cubed, which should be 1 over 64? Yeah. So you get 1 over 64 equals, sorry, I should probably write that, 64 over, we'll go V. So V equals, and it's going to be 64 times 64, which is 4,096. Hopefully that's what you got. A lot of times where people mess up is like they'll put the 64 on bottom here, but because it says solid A is similar to solid B with the given scale factor of A to B. That means like A is on top, B is on bottom. So that's how you need to do these. And since you're given A on both of these, you'd have to put it on top. Okay, now this, let me see. Yeah, I think I just put this in here because I wanted you to see it done with pi. It's done the same way. But let's do 2 over 3 squared. So we get 4 over 9. So that's what the surface area is reduced to. Then we get 90 pi over the surface area of the other one. So we essentially kind of act like the pi is not there. We cross multiply, we get 4s, and we just do 9 times 90, and you get 810. We leave the pi there. Then divide both sides by the 4. So then just do 810 divided by 4. Now you get 202.5. So essentially your surface area is 202.5 pi. But because you can't put a decimal in front of pi, you have to hit math enter and get that back into a fraction. So you get 405 pi over 2. Yeah, the pi goes on top. And that's just surface area. Now pause it if you want to keep that because I'm going to erase it. So we can do volume. So volume's going to be 2 over 3 cubed, which is 8 over 27. So 8 over 27 equals 100 pi over, well, sorry, I should use volume. So then we get 8V equals 2700 pi when we cross multiply, and we'll divide both sides by 8. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a fraction again. So do 2700 divided by 8. You get 337.5. Hit math, enter. You get 675 over 2. Pi goes on top. And that would be the volume of the second one. Okay, find the scale factor given the volumes. So if I put volume over volume, if you remember correctly, that equals the scale factor cubed because we're comparing volumes. So you have to do the cubed root. Oh my word. This may be the first time you've ever heard that. So let me open my on-screen calculator so you can see. I don't know if I can fit the whole thing into this screen. But if you have your calculator, I believe you hit the math button, and it's number 4. So here, let me see if I can squeeze this on here. So you hit math. This one right here, number 4, is the cubed root. It's like square root, but you take the, it's like, you know, and I don't know. Instead of taking the square root, it's the cubed root. It's like uncubing it is the best way I can explain that, I guess. So 4, and we can put the whole thing in there. I forgot it though. So it's 64 divided by 512. And that says 0.5. Let's put it back into a fraction. So the scale factor would be 1/2. Volume over volume, 343 pi over 8 pi. Now the pi's cancel. You can put them in there if you want, but they're still going to cancel out. It equals the scale factor cubed, so we're taking the cubed root again. So 343 over 8. So math 4, 343 over 8. Now if you do the pi, you've got to put the top and the bottom in parentheses, which is why I say just cancel it out when you see it in the first place. Then you don't have to worry about it. 7 over 2. Now if you were going to put the pi, let me just show you. Math 4, you'd have to put 343 pi, close parentheses, divided by, and it's even more parentheses if you don't have this new calculator that will keep extending the cubed root thing. What am I doing? Second pi. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Then you should get the same answer. Math enter, you'd get 7 over 2. So 7 over 2 is your scale factor. Oop. That's really good handwriting. Okay. Now surface area. If you do surface area over surface area, it equals the scale factor squared. Surface area over surface area equals the scale factor squared. So how do we undo that? We do the square root. Now when you do this, you can put a little 2 here, but that's kind of implied. If you just do that, it's implied that you're doing the square root. Now, you don't, like, this would actually reduce and probably be some perfect squares that you know, but if you're doing it on the calculator, you don't really have to worry about that. Just do second square root. But if you do it separately, like if you do square root of 75 and square root of 108, then you're going to get really confused. So either do it all in one step, like this, or reduce it first and then do it separately. So that is 5 over 6. So had we done like 75 over 108 in the beginning, you would have seen that it's 25 over 36, and then most of you could have done that square root in your head that would be 5 over 6. And same with 12 and 92. Like those aren't perfect squares, but they'd probably reduce to some. But let's just do it in the calculator so we don't have to worry about it. Is it 192? Yeah. 1 over 4. All right. But I guess that's it.